what I do every single time. I'll go over Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then we'll take a look at what I think will happen with a few coins that I want to look at, and then I'll take any suggestions from people in chat for any coins you guys want me to go over, and we will go from there. So I'll start with Bitcoin, and honestly, nothing has changed for me plan-wise. Gave the long at 25.4. The reason for that was because I wanted a sweep of Friday's lows, and we got it perfectly, so that's why I set my bid there. Got it. First resistance, or first TP did hit, which is also the first resistance point on the daily. I expect us to go higher to at least 27k. We might find some resistance here short term. Stops are in profit, so I've already trimmed. I'm not worried about it. I wouldn't suggest you guys going long over here. Whoops. So I expect us to have some slight pullback. We could even, if we reject here, we could even go back down to this order block over here. So anywhere from 26,200 down to 25,800. That would be a place too long. However, I'm not going too long. I'm still long for much lower. Doesn't make sense for me to add my position currently. I'm waiting for 27,200 to hit. And then if we do end up going higher, this is where I'll start shorting. I'm hoping for a wick above this resistance here. So the 382 fib is at 27,150-ish. I'm hoping for everyone to start shorting 27 to 27.2. We have one giant fuck you candle wick that just goes up above this resistance here, fills my short, and then if that continues to go higher, I have a DCA around 28,200-ish. I won't close this as it's going to be a manual stop loss, so until we flip 28,500 to support, that's when I will close it. It's going to be a hedge short against my long, so I'm not net short, but that's what I plan to do. But 25,800 down to 26,200 is where that order block is on the 4-hour, and where people will possibly get into longs. And yeah, that's where I think Bitcoin goes. I still think we are bullish, and a lot of people are trying to short this impulse up. A lot of people are going to get wrecked. So, a lot of analysts here were calling short on a lot of coins. I didn't agree with them. I saw something completely different. A lot of coins had swing failures, and you don't want to short when you have a swing failure. So that's why I just longed, and I'm currently short Binance, so it's my hedge short against my long BNB token. Currently underwater, but it's fine. I have invalidation points, and I gave the whole entire trading plan for BNB in a video, as long as wrote it for those people that don't want to watch videos. But we can go above this stop loss, and I'm not getting stopped out. It's a manual stop. So unless 220 gets flipped to support, and I used the 4-hour chart to get this. So we need closure above this, okay? Retest it. I'm not looking for closures above. I'm looking for a retest point and hold, and then I will manually close my short out. But until that happens, I'm holding it, and I know I gave this hard stop loss here. This is just an invalidation point. It's not to be taken as a hard stop loss. So I'm looking for a rejection over here, and then to continue roll down. This may even go up to about 222, where I will look to add, and then bring my total average to about like 220-ish. And then if we flip 220 to support on the 4-hour, then I will look to close it out. So I'm not really in a rush in anything right now. Bitcoin's in profit, Binance tokens in profit. The other coin that I want to take a look at is ETH. So start on the daily, going down. So 612 was previous swing low, okay, 611, 612. We did take liquidity and bounce from the 0.5 fib, okay, and we closed above it. We swing failured. We did come back down again and hold support. So 611 is still our support until proven otherwise. Any daily closures or 4-hour closures below that, right, then we're going to go look lower. But right now, as I mentioned a few days ago, ETH is cupping. It's building a base, so it does want to look or want to go higher. Short-term resistance comes around 1700-ish. Okay, so this is the 4-hour resistance. I wouldn't long anything here. You would want to wait until this 1700 level gets flipped to support before longing, and then the next resistance doesn't come until this 2-hour supply zone over here. So 1730 to 1750-ish. If this level gets flipped to support, and how to play those are pinned in my channel. You want to closure above, right? Retest it and hold. Then you could long with a very tight stop loss, probably around 1680, 1675-ish. And then you're going to target this over here. If we do get back up to 1811, that's where I'm looking to short. Okay, I gave this in my channel as well. Looking to short 1811 and DC around 1850 with a hard stop loss above like 1900. Do you use I don't use any indicators whatsoever. This is what I teach in my class. I only use support resistance, supply demand zones, and any indicator such as confluence such as trend lines, fibs, EMAs. That's what I use. Yep. Okay. So that's my plan for ETH and Bitcoin. I'm chilling right now in my long and my short. I only trade about 3 times, sometimes less than that a week. So I'm not gonna give rush plays out. I wait for my levels to hit. So let's take a look at some coins, you guys. You guys in SFP, what? You guys are trying to short a coin that's going parabolic? All right. Let's remove the CMA really quickly. Alright, let's take a look. Okay, so SFP is currently at resistance. I wouldn't long, but I wouldn't short it either.
Messi, non so perché.
Alright, someone needs to mute their mic. Okay. So I wouldn't short right now, but I also wouldn't long. We are at resistance, so we actually have broken out. Okay, weekly broke out, so people that were trying to short this got wrecked. This is why you start on higher time frames and go lower. You get away from the 15-minute and the 30-minute or anything lower than that. If you are looking to long this coin, you want to wait until a pullback happens. The first pullback is going to be around here, 53. It was previously resistance that we rejected a few times. Okay, we also had an inverse head and shoulders. So the target of this can actually go much higher. Yeah, 72 cents is the inverse head and shoulders target. So this can actually go and take out these highs over here. Possibly this one first. Okay, so if you're looking for a short setup, there's one of 2 ways to play this. You're looking for confirmations, okay? So the first minor resistance doesn't come, well, by minor I mean like short-term resistance, doesn't come until here, 61 cents-ish, okay? Which we rejected from easily. You are looking for a sweep of these highs, okay? And then swing failure. That's weird. SFP is also swing failure. And then you're going to short it once we come back down below this level with your stops above the wick. I wouldn't short right now. I don't know what the funding is on this. It's probably highly negative because people are trying to short this. So you're waiting for that to happen. On a lower time frame, you're probably wanting to get long on this retest. I'm not going to. This is a very illiquid coin. So you're looking for a retest of previous resistance, which is an SR level, and then you're going to possibly have this set up here. So around 53.2 with stops below. This is it's very wide. Probably something like that. But the best trade to take, I know this is an SR trade and one that we can possibly take. The best trade to take would be a retest of this breakout point, not of the SR level, but of the weekly breakout. And if that holds, you'd long. Okay, so this one right here, this setup, is a very risky one because this could easily plummet. Like we've had, right, like this huge daily 2-day candles. You could have one where it's just going to be a huge nuke. Okay, so if you're trading this coin, I would go in with 2/3 or maybe half of your normal position size. But I wouldn't short this right now, even though we are at levels too short. If you are looking to short this, you'd enter in current market price with your stops above this wick here, and play it back down, and take levels at profit at levels of support. Did this SFP on the daily? No, it just touched equal highs. Okay. If you're shorting this, again, very high risk trade. I'd be careful if I were you. What other coins are we looking at? Do you think Solana's heading into 17? So, eventually, yes. This was the levels that I gave before I came to this Discord. It hit, so my buy zones have filled, and I'm looking to buy within this zone here, down from 1966 down to 15, and if we go lower, I will buy as well. But in terms of a long setup, the 17.23, right, down to this, but I'm playing this accumulation demand zone here. This would be in correlation with the golden pocket, also in confluence with this trend line bounce here. So that's where I'll be looking to play it. I do think eventually, the market has not bottomed. I do think we go much lower. And I do give a full analysis on that on my YouTube channel, macro analysis. I do think we see possibly 20K again, if not sub 20K for a brief moment. So that's why I'm not looking to rush into anything long term yet. I'm in Bitcoin and ETH from 16K and also 1200, so there's no rush for me to get in. But I'm looking to accumulate some few coins, and I'm waiting for this push higher on Bitcoin and then to go lower. So I'm not looking to buy any spot coins yet. If anything I enter into, it's going to be a short-term trade. 3 to 5%. I compound those gains. I'm happy with it. A lot of people want to go for those home run trades of 10, 20%, and then they round trip all their profits. So, but I do. Sol did hit my buy zone. I did load up a little bit yesterday. And in terms of longs, 17 point. I gave a setup on my channel. Would you consider this as a double bottom for Atom? Let's take a look. What is that? 4 hour? Alright, let's take a look. Someone's got a hot mic. Please mute. Okay. So Atom's still on a downtrend. Okay. I wouldn't long until this gets flipped. However, yes, this could be potentially a double bottom here. Okay, it was previously support, right? We liquidity rated this previous swing low, and then we just bounced from it. So it's actually a triple bottom. So in order to get long on Atom, you want to see a flip of this downtrend. And we've been downtrending since Monday. Well, since a long time from Monday, but short term, you want to see a break on this, okay? And you want to see this high taken out, in my opinion. So if we break out, right, and then we flip this to support, then you would long it. But until that happens, I would be very cautious. This coin's not going to move. It hasn't really moved. It just likes to go down and not up really. So, like it doesn't make sense to trade a 3-4 cent move in a few days. But if you are looking to long it, then I would wait for this order block to come back down. It hasn't fully filled. So something like this. Again, high risk trade. Everything in terms of altcoins is high risk because liquidity is going into Bitcoin and stupid shitcoins. BNB, I already gave at the beginning. I'll briefly go over it. I actually made a whole trade plan on it, so I'll take like 10 seconds to go over this. I'm still short on this. I'm not looking to get out of this until 220 is flipped to support on the 4-hour. Okay, hasn't happened yet. I'm looking for this to possibly go to 222. I'll add to my position there, have an average of 220, and then roll over from there. A full 6-minute detail analysis on BNB is given in my channel video, so I won't go over that again. Sui. Alright. Okay, this looks like it wants to break out. The past 2 days, candles have been really strong. Well, today's candle has a flat bottom. Okay, this will eventually get covered. I don't know if there's any wicks. Let me see on a lower time frame really quickly. One sec. Yeah, it's got a wick. Never mind. No flat bottom. If it had a flat bottom, it would have been recovered, but it's got a little wick. So, short term, I wouldn't long here. It's at resistance, downtrend resistance. Also, it's got supply zone here. Also, 4-hour order block. Okay, we had a cup and handle, and the target for the cup and handle has almost been reached. Short term, if this 4-hour closes, right, I would possibly look to enter in around 56. Why that? It was previously support, right? We bounced from it, then rejected it. We broke down, deviated, again rejected it. Then we broke out. So this would be an SR point. And usually SR points do provide a nice bounce. Stop loss placement's going to be tough on this one because we had this giant ripper of a candle. So rule of thumb, I usually go like 3%, 2 to 3%. But this 4-hour candle is going to close in 30 minutes. I was going to say, look for that retracement. If you're looking for longs currently, I wouldn't take anything until this daily is flipped to support. So you want to see this broken out, right? Retest it, and then you'd long up to at least 70 cents. But that's where I would get into longs around 56 2 with stops below 54 and just play it that way. Because you have these highs that need to be taken out. Can you take a look at... I've never heard of this coin. Maybe I have. I don't remember doing. Alright. Damn, what a candle. One sec. Okay, it's at weekly resistance. Got a weekly order block as well. If this flips this on the daily, one sec. This probably has some bearish divergence forming on it. Yeah, I think from here it rejects. But you want to see... The daily still has a while to go, right? We still have 4.5 hours. But if we close below on the daily, then it could short-term roll over. A possible point to... Let's front run this a little bit. This is an SR point. Okay, so if it if this 4 hour closes with a giant doji, right, giant wick, if this candle somehow turns red in the next 30 minutes, I take a short with a very tight stop loss, probably low position size, and go above the wick, and I target that and lower. I don't know how this coin moves in terms of price action. I don't know why it's moving right now. But in terms of longs, this would be the first TV point and possibly hedge long. Is funding highly negative on this one? Let me check. One sec. Let's open up. Oh no, it's got neutral funding. I wonder what's making this pump. I think this is a good rejection point. However, I don't know how this moves, but 4 hour close in the next 30 minutes like this, and not above this trend line, then you could possibly take a scalp short with it above the wick. And you're looking for, 1-2% moves. Yeah, that's what I would do. That would be the setup. It's an old rising channel. RNDR. Okay. Let's go on the 4-hour. So just like ETH, RNDR is building a base, right? I wouldn't long until this level is flipped to support. There's a supply zone there. Shorts can be taken. You also have confluence of resistance. One sec, let me check. Yeah, previously support held, lost it. So you have support, or you have a resistance confluence horizontally along with a supply zone on the 4-hour. So no longs here yet. Short term, that candle is disgusting. It's also rejecting again. Maybe a long at this order block. These wicks though make, I don't trade these coins, but these wicks make it look like it's highly volatile. So tight stop. Enter in light. You can add more to your position once this is flipped to support, or if this doesn't get filled, you want a breakout and a retest to enter. You would take profit here, right? But then it's going to probably reject at this resistance, making a left, making your head, and then it's going to come back down, right? And then possibly put in a right shoulder. And if it flips this resistance into support, then it's going to head to our next target, which is that supply zone. So this one, is this a flat candle? No, it's got a wick. Okay, that's what I would do with RNDR. Short term though, yeah, best entry would be 1.38-ish. Dogecoin. Okay. Okay. Dogecoin rejected perfectly from the supply. It's at resistance right now. It rejected. I wouldn't long until this gets flipped to support. Right? It was support, support, support. Broke down, turned into resistance. Broke down, swing failured, rejected, right? So no longs here yet. Possible short-term long entry. This order block. However, these wicks make stop loss placement very tough. I'd short if we go back to the supply zone. So something like that. But if we reclaim this resistance, right? So see, we broke down, reclaimed it, went higher, broke down, reclaimed it, went higher, reclaimed it, went higher, broke down, we never reclaimed it. But when we did here, we went higher, right? Then we flipped it to support. Same thing here, broke down, reclaimed it. If this resistance here gets reclaimed, we could go higher, making this a risky short. However, shorting Dogecoin is always risky because the twat Elon can say anything, and then this just randomly pumps. So I never short it, and if I do, it's small size. But it looks like it might be putting in. Yeah, if it flips this resistance, it can go to this resistance here. So that is the short that you could possibly take as well. So we fell down below resistance, right? And then this was the range, right? If we reclaim it, again, this will be the range to play. Range high is here. Yes, we had wicks above, but it depends on where the candle closes. So that's why you take that short. And longs, yeah, would be around here. Hopefully it's a wick down into it. And then continue this wedge. Or you long this flip higher. I don't know if people call a Doge short. I don't follow people here. The other coin that I see people trying to short is BLZ. Okay. So BLZ has not lost market structure. There should be no short taken on this coin until it breaks down, turns into resistance. This kind of reminds me of like Maker. One sec. Yeah, it's got the same similar pattern, right? It's in a rising wedge, just like this is. There's the breakdown, right? There's the retest. So you're looking for the same exact structure to play out, right? So here's another one, bouncing off, breakdown, retest, dump. So you're looking for that same exact structure here. Breakdown, retest, dump. So this possibly could be forming a deviation, right? We want to see a breakdown here. You can go on a shorter time frame to see that breakdown happen. Playing breakdowns and breakouts are very tough. You enter with a very small position, right? And if it continues dumping, great, you take profit. If it reclaims the trend line, you get out for a small loss. Now, what do you want to do if you want to add, right? If you market shorted on the breakdown, right, and it goes down to let's say it comes back down here, right? You take profit because this is support, right? And then it goes back up and rejects the bearish retest point of this trend line. Then you can add more to your position, add whatever you took profit, or you can add more if you want, and then you have easy invalidation. You've already taken profit, right? Your entry is already on the breakdown point. You add more here, it moves your average up to about here, right? Reclaim this trend line, you get out for a small loss. You're pretty much break even, or very small loss. So keep an eye out on this one. I think funding is still highly negative on this, so still no shorts. But yeah, See, this is, and I give instructions on my pinned messages on how to play these breakdowns. Okay, so this isn't news, right? Breakdown, wait for the retest. You'd short if it rejects. Breakdown, look for the retest. You short if it rejects. Here's a short-term one, right? It broke down. Wait for the retest. If it rejects, you short. And this works on all time frames, right? Like we can go on the 15-minute here. Breakdown, retest, short. Right? Breakdown never got the retest, but that's why we enter in small amounts sometimes on breakdowns, so you can catch it. Cool. So that's BLZ. Again, no shorts yet. You could argue there's a trend line within the trend line, right? But it doesn't make sense to short that back to this here. FTM. Another coin going parabolic. Well, not really. Okay. It's at resistance. Possible Adam and Eve. Break this, turn it into support. It could run to about 22. I wouldn't short this here. If you're looking for longs, I'd go with this accumulation demand zone here. And then you have that. So you either long this breakout and retest point. You need to break out, retest, hold, then you can long to here. There is a slight supply zone here, so it might reject. That's why I'm saying you want to wait until this flips to support. Or you buy down this accumulation and back to resistance about 4% move. Oh, we're pumping. We are pumping. Why? Bitcoin probably takes out this high here and rejects. So the one thing that I recommend you guys learn is swing failure patterns, right? Because this was an easy long. We took out this lows, we had a liquidity raid, and then we just pumped from there, right? So that was an easy long. Like a lot of these coins had those SFPs. Binance or BNB also had one, right? Yesterday's candle took out, what is this, Thursday's low, and then we pumped. That was an easy long. And a lot of people were trying to short. Like, OP, I still think this has room to go. I think it goes back to this order block over here. Maybe 1.65 offers a rejection first, but a wick into that order block would be a nice short. I didn't see a reason to short this yesterday. I didn't see a reason to short Ruin. Whoops. Wrong chart. Right? Ruin yesterday dumped right into the golden pocket. That was an easy long. Short term for Ruin. Possible falling wedge breakout. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe one more dip lower and then maybe up. Because you have hold on, let me see these wave counts really quickly. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it rejects here, the next fifth wave down could be a long opportunity, which is also that next fifth wave down would be back into the golden pocket. And then possible long with stops below like 144-ish. Or if it breaks out from here, then you get a move back up to roughly 185. Yeah, 185, which should offer some type of resistance. Maybe 184 short with a very tight stop loss. But like when you get when everyone's trying to short the same thing at major levels of resistance, you get a short squeeze. Like this was like a 1 minute candle. So, you have your stop loss, but it's an invalidation point, right? So although you have a hard stop loss here, you want to wait for candles to close above. So people that are going in with like 30%, 40% of their portfolio are going to get liquidated on a 3 cent move, right? So you go in light here, and then you wait for these highs to be taken out. Add to your position on the trigger right there, and then just write it down. Then you can place your stop loss above whatever wick that Ruin creates. Yeah, we're still going. No signs of slowing down. I think like I said, 27.2 to 27.4K gets touched. Sol, it's a nice candle. Sol probably rejects from 21.74-ish to 21.97. Possible short scalp. The R&R isn't great, but it's a scalp. So again, you can take profit on like a 1-2% move, maybe less. The best short will be taken, let me see, I want this to go to 22.85, and I gave my reasoning for this. We have supply zone, okay? We have the 4-hour 200 EMA confluence. You have horizontal resistance, and it would possibly be a wick up from this downtrend, just like we had a deviation here, we could have another deviation, and that's why I'm playing that 2285 short. Um, Injective. Injectives at a possible bearish retest point. This coin's too strong, but if we ever get to 832, that's where I'd be looking to scalp short it. We had, we have a bullish engulfing candle that's engulfing yesterday's, today's, or 2 days ago, all these candles. So I wouldn't short this right now. Possible pullback to, depends. Maybe 750. We've already flipped it to support. So a long can be possibly taken back up to its highs. Cool. Any other coins you guys want me to look at? I have like 2 or 3 more in me. By the way, Bitcoin volatility never lies, right? I mentioned this. When we get into this zone, it's going to have a major effect. We got into the zone 2 days or 3 days ago, 2 days ago, and then 2 days later we have volatility. When doing support resistance analysis, do you factor in the overall market move? What do you mean? You always want to know what Bitcoin's doing, so you want to see how Bitcoin's health is. But I work on weekly and make myself, make my way down. So I start with a weekly, then go daily, 4 hour, whatever. But yes, you do want to make sure, especially when you're trying to knife catch, right? Like when you're having bloody days, like this, you wanted to set your bids at macro levels of support. You want to get away from the 15 and the 30-minute or 1 hour and focus on the daily. A lot of people overposition themselves on low time frames, and they don't see the high time frame levels. You have to be you can use Bing, MEXC, but you have to have a VPN if you're in the US. Did we take out these highs? Yeah, we took out the highs. When did we take this out? That was a nice short opportunity. This should retrace a little bit. I think altcoins run for a little. This coin. Yeah, see, yesterday this was a perfect. You have the 200 EMA, right? We come back and retest it perfectly. Not only that, but you had a swing failure. That was a perfect long opportunity. So you guys want to focus on learning swing failures because they're the best risk to reward trades you can find. Invalidation's easy once you have a liquidity rate, right? Matter of fact, I do have a video on swing failures on my YouTube channel that I made. ETH also did reject from the 1700 level. We took out the highs. Now if this 4 hour and 3 minutes closes below, we should see some pullback on ETH as well. Probably it's about 1660-ish. Oh, people are tagging me in different channels. One sec. UNFI. Guys, message me in the trading room, please. So I had this short setup for myself on UNFI. Reason for that, we had a 4-hour order block. Right, you also have resistance. So resistance, that's where I set up my personal short at 538 and my stop loss was above here. I think this might go up one more time and take out these highs here. So if this goes up and swing failures, right, take out these highs, I will add more to my short there with my stops above the wick. I'll just lower it. But I don't know why people were so horny and trying to short this yesterday. You have another. Yeah, on lower time frame, and this is about to close in 2 minutes, we actually took out these highs, so I could see this possibly going back up to 542-ish and then slowing back down again. Let's remove this channel. So something like it's a very tight stop. But I'm in from 538, so XRP. So I gave this setup last stream. It still worked out. There was a demand zone, so that was the same setup. It's actually got a nice move up, about 5%. So you're waiting on one or two things here. Setup's not valid anymore, but you're waiting on let's draw this up a little bit more. Okay. So as I've been preaching, right? Breakdown, retest, short, reject. You're waiting for a retest, reject, and then you short probably your stops above. Depends where it rejects, right? So if we assume it rejects over here, then your stop loss will probably be above this wick. If it goes higher, then you have to adjust your stop loss. But right now, I think it still goes up just a little bit more depending on how far Bitcoin goes. 5.66 level. That's a weekly. Are you measuring it from the top of this candle body? Yeah. Yeah, watch this fall in real time here. I already went over Sol. Sure. Um, mentioned this a few times. Thanks, Caleb, for the reminder. I have a class starting next week, so if anyone's still interested, I have about 5 spots remaining. Um, it's a full month course. I go over the basics from the beginning to beginners, and I go over my trading style. So supply, demand, support, resistance, and in like anything that I use to get into trades. So I go over all those from the beginning to beginners. But if you guys are experienced, I've been trading for 7 years. I've changed my trading style to the most basic things, and literally, if you look at my charts, it's literally lines, right? I prefer my lines in threes and white, but yeah. So all the details are posted on my channel. I'll reply to it if anyone's interested. You can open a ticket. I don't have one-on-ones going on, but I might open them up later on. I'm focusing on classes where I will give instructions and homeworks and do fun giveaways for people that sign up and actually participate in class. But that's it for me. I gotta head back into work here. I will go ahead and stop recording here, and I will upload this